Hey guys, it's Cassie and today we're going to be talking about hot new luxury items that I think we'll regret soon. And why? Look, there is so much coming at us all of the time, okay? These brands do not slow down. They're always dropping something new. Is it a new collab? Is it a new collection? Is it a new capsule collection? Whatever it is, you know, there's so much coming at us. And it can be very easy to get swept up in the hype, get all wrapped up in the excitement and not think too long term. Now, this is coming from a place of like, I'm a bit of a trend gal, okay? I love a good trend. And, of course, all of this depends on your personal style. I might be rattling off all of these items today and you might be like, actually, no, I'm not going to regret those in a couple of months, a year's time because this is very me. Fine, completely get that, but this is just my personal opinion and predictions on what I think we might be regretting sooner rather than later. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Guys, you ready? Let's go. As I mentioned, these all depend on your personal style, okay? And I'm just one random person on the internet with my completely random opinion, okay? So if you have any of these items or if you love any of these items, as long as you're happy with your purchase and you love them, then that's all that matters. So we're going to kick it off with, drumroll please, the Jacquemus Little Titty Cardigan. That's what I'm going to call it. Does it have a proper name? Yes. Do I prefer my name? Yeah. TTC. The Tiny Titty Cardigan. I like it. Anyway, the fashion girlies were loving this top, okay? So it was definitely popular, very much within that circle, and I assumed that it then had a little bit of trickle down. Am I seeing it left, right and centre on the streets of London? No. But it's definitely more popular than I expected it to be. I feel like this is an obvious one because it's very controversial. And controversial items tend to die a quick death. The other thing with this top is that we have really been seeing it just styled toute seule, by itself, okay? Just like that tiny little Jacquemus script there hanging on by a thread to keep it together. And as much as, let's say if you bought it now, styled it like that, and then you were like, do you know what? I'm not going to style it like that in the future. I'll do it layered, whatever. There is definitely that option, and I really haven't seen very many people style it on top of things. I think it's really there for the shock factor. But in general, this isn't going to last, is it? No. We're going to look back and be like, wow, we were really risking it all. We really were. You know, a singular cough and we're done for. The second one is more of a trend, and it's actually something that we're going to be seeing a hell of a lot more of autumn, winter, fall, winter 2022, with what the runways have been showing us, right? But Versace's been doing this a lot recently. Latex. So, Versace for spring summer have like some little latex dresses, latex skirts, and then for autumn, winter, fall, winter we've seen a few brands, including Versace, do sort of like latex socks. Basically a lot of latex. Dominatrix fashion is very in, right? But we'll get into that in a trends video later on. But here's the thing, and this is why, in my opinion, latex always lives a very short life. We've seen this come up a few times before in recent years. It's mainly like a mini trend. And this is why. Practicality-wise, latex is not the one. And this is coming from experience, okay? I fell into that hole. I went straight to the source at Suko Kudo, alright? Couturier of latex and rubber garments. And I purchased myself a pair of, they were sort of like a gunmetal silver legging. When I tell you, you need 3 pairs of hands at the very least, right? Lubricant, latex cleaner, and baby powder, or a combination of those 3, to literally just get those things up your leg, get any little bit of movement. It is a nightmare from start to finish, it really is. And don't get me talking about the sweat. This might be a bit TMI here. As I said, I bought leggings. It came to a point where, as I was sitting down, we were hearing a squelch. Needless to say, those leggings are no longer in my wardrobe now. Very arduous material that's honestly, it's not even worth the execution, you know? Like, it's not even worth a serve of the look for the absolute obstacle course that you have to go through to make this happen. And then you're telling me that you're introducing socks and things like this at the, no. No, absolutely not. So, practicality-wise, this is something that is always a regret. Unless you're in the public eye and you need to serve a look and you have an assistant to aid you. This is not for us. This is not for the mere mortals. Next up, the set that has plagued us, the Miu Miu set. We're going to look back and we're going to go, Ooh, that was quite something, wasn't it? We've been at this rodeo. Okay, we've been down this road before with this super high crop, super low rise bottom, okay? And while, once again, us mere mortals may not be buying this exact set, I don't know about you, this might be your life, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and assume that the majority of us mere mortals are not going to go ahead and be buying this exact set. But we may buy something that similar-ish vibe, also from Miu Miu, or similar-ish vibe from somewhere else that maybe isn't as extreme, but is definitely down the same road as this. And I am warning us now. This isn't going to end well. And look, this is not to say that the people currently wearing the Miu Miu set are not absolutely killing it, because they are. And I look at everybody and I'm like, I really wish I could. I could simply never, but I wish I could. This set, by the way, only actually like officially dropped into stores, what, like a week or two ago, all right? Already people are sick of it because of how much this one sample set has like done the rounds. We've got Miu Miu set fatigue. And on top of that, in a few months, a year's time, we're going to turn back and we're going to be like, was I really dressing like a rebellious teenager, like trying to be cute with my school uniform? No, that ship has well and truly sailed. Next up, the Bottega phone cord heels. Now, I could have filled this list with Bottega because Bottega walks a very fine line of iconic and ridiculous trend piece that we'll all be looking back and going, what were we thinking? They really do straddle that very fine line. Most of the time, we're veering into iconic, but every so often, all right, like this, like they've newly released, I think they're called the Tower Shoes, Python toe. That snout is exactly the same as a python, all right? If I was a python, I'd be suing for IP. I'm going to go ahead with the phone cord heels because as much as, once again, I've seen some people rocking this and I'm like, yeah, you're giving us a fashion moment, you know, but I'm glad I didn't spend my money on that because that would have been a one and done. And that's it. These are essentially so novelty, they're almost in Moschino category, okay? Moschino do novelty very well, but I don't think any of us would kind of describe Moschino as having timelessness or longevity. Very novelty, it's very fun, and again, if that is your vibe, then you're gonna love it. But if that is not your vibe and you want something that's got a little bit more legs, this isn't the one. So the phone cord heels, not only do they look, you know, like some possibly accessory to a Halloween costume, but the practicality wise of it, that coil is very loose. So basically you walk and it's rattling and flapping around and everything else. The next one, I don't know if I should just keep my mouth quiet. But if there is one thing I am, it is honest. The Dior Vibe Bag. Okay, let me break this one down. I feel like the long and short of this is that this was lazy. So number one, this was Dior's last like influencer pushed bag on social media, right? I'm sorry, may I just say, like, if you're going to brainwash me, can you at least make it a little bit more subtle? Like, at least make me think that I've gotten here on my own accord if I wanted to buy this bag. Like, don't have everybody post on the same day. This really has cemented itself as a trend bag and nothing more. I will not be surprised if we never see this bag again. Now, this is not including the bowling bags in that collection, because I think the bowling bag style itself is, you know, a timeless style that we see there again and again kind of thing. It's not that. It is simply this sort of hemisphere shape with its two straps. Why did they connect the straps via these chain links? It makes no sense to me. There is no cohesion. It's like the bag and the straps are from two different, very different things. It seems like a bit of a hodgepodge. It's like a little bit of a Frankenstein of a bag. Elements of it work, but then together it just falls flat. And because of that, I don't think it's going to be as popular as they hoped, and I think that it's going to be one that we're just going to look back on and be like, oh, do you remember that? Yeah, there was that vibe. Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, okay, moving on. Next one is another bag, and this is a new sort of influencer push as well. The Prada Triangle Bag. Okay, so this is recently been, again, gifted to a lot of influencers recently. And this is, I actually don't mind the influencer gifting thing. I just think that they need to be smarter about it. They need to give it to people whose style is actually that style, who would actually use it and pull it off and show us different ways to wear it. Because now it just seems like they're giving the bag to everyone, regardless of style, and then we see somebody wear it once and then we never see it again, you know? But anyway, this one, I think it has too many trend elements and no simple elements to balance it out. You've got this leather triangle, which is the massive Prada logo, right? With the multi-pochette strap. Now, I actually think the triangle by itself with like a shoulder strap, which I actually think that they're doing, fine. That makes sense because, okay, we've got the element of a shoulder bag, which is something that we've seen as something that's quite simple with a trendy element. But we've gone trendy shape of bag plus trendy strap. The lifespan has been cut down. This is just my opinion and just my predictions, and I might be wrong. I feel like it lacks the balance, and I think that it then is going to make it become outdated a lot quicker. And my final category, this is one that, like, it's had longer legs than I thought it would. I don't know why I'm saying that everything's got legs, but you know what I mean. It's been around for longer than I assumed it would. This might just be me doing hopeful thinking and just wishing it to die a very quick but nonetheless painful death. Foam-like, croc-like shoes. We've got a number of brands here doing this in a number of different ways. We've got Balenciaga that obviously had their Crocs collaboration, then they did a croc with a heel, the Croc Madame. But we know that what Balenciaga does well is tomfoolery. Fine. Then we've got Bottega with the puddle boot. Looks like it was drawn by a child. Comfy? I'm very sure. Aesthetics? None of it's there. And you've got Prada, right? So they've just released their little fisherman platform sandal, which is essentially a jelly shoe, but grown up. And they've also done like a foam mule slide sandal. I don't know what that is, right? But it needs to end. Again, we've really kind of held on to this element of comfort from everything that we went through, and I understand. How long is it now going to take for us to finally go, no, I'm interested in a little bit more grace and decorum than these shoes are giving us, because these shoes are here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is comfort, right? But when it comes to the visuals, absolutely nothing there. Nothing. 0 points, nil point, thank you very much. It is simply a matter of time before we turn around and go, why was I wearing shoes that were appropriate for a 6-year-old? All of these shoes are very appropriate for a toddler or a small child. They're running around getting grass stains, whatever. Good for them, right? Yeah, put them in a croc. On an adult, on a grown adult, where you are paying your taxes, paying your rent, and you're in Le Croc? I don't care if it comes in a green Bottega box. I don't care if it comes in a blue Prada box. I don't care what colour, it could be an orange one, you know? Still not alright. There you go, welcome to my TED Talk about why I hate foam-like, croc-like shoes. Let me know what you think of my predictions. Let me know if you predict any hot new items that you think are going to be falling off a hill pretty quickly. I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.